Hello and welcome to another episode of Gallery Watch. I'm Nadia Hunter and today I'm at Baratti Fine Art in North Fremantle to see the exhibition The Figure. So I'm here with Robert Baratti, the owner of the gallery here.
The fun of this show is being able to select certain works where artists who may be predominantly figurative in what they do and others who not so much so, and they've been able to use the figure as a motive to express other things and to create a discourse and an argument on a whole range of subjects. So we've drawn together painters like Fred Kress, who is a personal favourite of mine, and he was a great painter and a great man, and he was also the country's leading abstractionist for many years, and almost worked with abstraction almost exclusively, and then did an about face and focused on the figure, and the figure actually became his central motive until the day that he passed away. Using the figure in this painting to express almost the private lives of people and the private thoughts and the destructive thoughts of people, and I think he just did such a wonderful, clever job in presenting the figure in such a unique way. This is a beautiful piece, and we've been able to combine Fred's work with works by Peter Kendall and David Anderson, David Spencer, some local artists, and been very fortunate to be able to get some work from artists like Pablo Picasso and Salvador Dali, works from the 1930s and the 1960s. Well, this particular piece is by Pablo Picasso. It was created in 1933, and it's from a suite of etchings, which was best known as the Vallard Suite. It was published by Ambrose Vallard, who was quite an influential Parisian art dealer, and he represented artists like Picasso and Renoir, Cezanne, Gauguin, and did a lot to promote their work, and he was one of the only art dealers working in that period who actually represented and worked with living artists. This piece by Paul Cezanne was created in that tradition, as originally designed as a bookplate. So this was an image that was going to be included in a book published by Ambrose Vallard that would also have etchings by Renoir and Picasso and other artists that he was working with. And those books would be sold and also sold in other cities, so it would actually widen the scope and the appeal and the reach of the art of those artists into other areas.
I'm here with David Anderson, one of the artists that's exhibiting tonight. Hello, and thank you for being on. can you tell me a little bit about the art behind us that you did for tonight's exhibition?
Yeah, so these paintings are some new work for me where I guess I'm still playing with the figure but trying to do it in a bit more of a looser, less representational way from what I've previously done. The original idea for these paintings was quite far away from this actually. I wanted to do a series of nudes and I did a photo shoot with a model that had her and a mirror as well, and I really wanted these works to be about that relationship between the two figures, and I did 4 paintings this size and I worked on them for a number of months and they didn't work, and as I got closer and closer to the show I realised that they weren't going to work no matter how hard I tried, and that it was better to set them aside. I got 4 fresh canvases, started with this beautiful neutral grey, and using the same source imagery I kind of developed these where I decided that I didn't want to show everything. And interestingly, it's a theme that's come up right from when I was at university. It was about kind of privileging or highlighting certain areas of the body, but not in any kind of stereotypical way. I didn't want to necessarily focus on the areas that other people might focus on. It's about drawing attention to the areas that other people might not look at. So the relationship between a hand and a leg, or a chin and a knee, or something like that. It's just about drawing your attention to these areas and I guess highlighting different parts of the body while leaving the rest unfinished or see-through, or however you want to interpret that. So it's just about something that's not quite all there. The idea for the whole series from the outset was to be very relaxed and to have an almost academic, classical nude feel about it. And interestingly, when I first worked with the model, and I explained all this to her. I said, I want you to be really relaxed, just like you've come home from a day at work and you're just sitting there. And the first pose she did was really posed, and I was like, no, that's great, but just relax. And she goes, ah. Oh. And then I was like, that's great. And so I worked with her for a few hours, taking photos and getting her to just relax into the poses, and getting those shots when she was not paying attention was the best thing.
Always the best.
But no, they worked out really well. She was a great model, and I've got many more works I think I could do from that source materials. I'm looking forward to continuing this series. It is a new kind of idea for me, and so I think there's a lot more to play with and kind of a lot further to go with it. I didn't want to over-finish the works, I didn't want to overdo them. They are meant to be sketches, so they're kind of, they're half finished, they're half there, but there's enough to see the forms, and it's something I really enjoy working with pencil on coloured paper, is that you can just bring out those lights and darks.
And have you always studied human form, or have you done other subjects as well? Or?
I've probably been painting and drawing people for the last 10 or 15 years. I'm really interested in portraits and the human face, and kind of over the last few years I've branched out into more figurative and nudes, but portraiture is still a big part of what I do. Having my work alongside Dali and Cezanne is an amazing opportunity, and it's quite unbelievable to be shown with these artists, I guess. For just a local Perth artist, it's pretty big deal. I've had a solo show here early last year and was part of a couple of group shows here, and this will be my third group show at this gallery. I've also exhibited in the Breadbox Gallery. I've had a joint solo show at Free Range Gallery, which was a sculpture exhibition. It's quite different for me, but...
have they all been local to Perth, or have you gone...
Yeah, they've all been in Perth. I'm planning to show in Sydney later on in this year, before showing again here in November, and hopefully a couple of other group exhibitions. There's a lot on the plate at the moment. I do commissions from time to time. They're normally quite specific, but I do like painting people, so portraits are fine. It's the added pressure of having somebody's expectations on the work is something that I don't necessarily enjoy, but I like if people enjoy the finished product. That's always really satisfying. So I've done a handful of commissions, but it's not as common as it was, say, in the like 17 or 1800s. So people are going out and getting photographs of themselves rather than portraits painted. It's seen as a little bit egotistical, I think, but if you do it in the right way, it can be really nice. So I try not to make it too traditional and try to keep it contemporary. It's just like anything. You just keep at it, and I just always wanted to paint and draw, and so I just keep painting and drawing. And if people want to see my work or it gets accepted into prizes or exhibitions, then that's really nice. And otherwise, I'll just keep doing it and keep trying to get better, and explore new ideas, and hopefully people keep enjoying it. My dad's an artist as well, and so I'd always been drawing for ages. There's two instances I remember. One time in kindergarten, I did a painting of my mum when she was pregnant with my little sister, and I actually drew the little stick figure baby in her belly, and I clearly remember that. But the first time painting as a young adult, I tried to do a self-portrait of myself, which got dubbed Lemonhead because it just ended up being a big yellow circle, basically, with some hair painted on the top. I did that when, I don't know, maybe when I was 15. Just trying to learn tricks as you go along, meet artists who can teach you things, and hopefully keep improving and keep producing better work.
Well, don't go anywhere. Gallery Watch will be back after this very short break.